Hello, good day, everyone. I'm Andre. I'm excited to welcome you here today for the EncoraTalks, Engineering Productivity from Insights to Outcomes. Over the next 30 to 35 minutes, I'll dive into what engineering productivity really means, what it's all about, and how to turn technical insights into business outcomes that really matter, that really make the difference. So let's get started. A little bit about myself. I lead the Encora engineering productivity practice, and I bring over 15 years experience in software developing, having working as agile coach, quality engineer, quality leader, and engineering manager as well. And what excites me the most is to bring and apply proven frameworks that helps team to deliver measurable outcomes to perform better. So this is what drives me day to day. And here is a little bit about what we'll cover today. So we'll define engineering productivity, why it matters, how frameworks like DORA, SPACE, and DevX work together, and how we recognize and act to the right signals. We'll also touch on Gen AI role in all of this, and I'll walk you through like a real world case study, and then we can close with some takeaways and Q&A. Okay. All right. So let's dive right in. What is engineering productivity all about? So first, let me clarify what productivity really means. It's not about uh, hours worked or tasks completed. It's about delivering outcomes that really matter with speed, quality, and consistency. When you have good velocity, excellent quality, and great efficiency, then you probably being way productivity. So this is what it really means: is bringing all those um, things together in order to have a great delivery outcome. So, and what does engineering productivity enables? When we get this right, productivity drives faster delivery, better products, and more efficient teams. So it kind of touches in every part of the flow. So it goes from organization to teams to individual to product and to operations. And for each of those, we can bring we can get improvements that will affect the business hugely. So, for instance, for organizations, we need to have better strategic planning, better engineering agility, better return of investment, less waste and less cost. So, this is what we can get from engineering productivity focused to organizations. For teams, that goes with better collaboration, better ownership, better team bond, better empowerment, less friction, less blockers. So this really benefits teams as well. Individuals, of course, focus, feedback, more engagement, more motivation, more career progress, more skill growth, and less, manual work and repetitive tasks. That's what we can get from this. Product, more speed, more quality, more alignment. And alignment here is a good one because it means alignment between engineering teams and product teams. Sometimes we have different areas and they sometimes not always agree with one another. So product expects one thing, engineering expects other, and then the outcome isn't as great as it should be. It doesn't bring the value that we want to bring in to the table. So alignment is key, and we have to have uh, product teams trusting engineering teams and teams trusting that the product team is bringing the most value to the product they are developing. We can achieve that with engineering productivity as well. And for operations, of course, we have visibility, resiliency, scale, AI first mindset, and customer trust with less downtime. So all those things we can really um, get benefit of, spending some time in reflecting and thinking how our flow is, how our productivity really is. So here are some of the frameworks we use to drive impact. So we have proven frameworks like Data, Space, and DevX, and we use them to identify friction, improve the flow as a whole, and align with engineering efforts. With align the engineering efforts with the business impact. So Data focus on the DevOps excellency. Space focus more on developer effectiveness. DevX, it's focus on the developer experience and flow as well. And Gen AI for automation and augmentation. And Gen AI, it's not really a framework, but it must be here because Gen AI is a key element to a key lever to boost productivity. And we have agile. Any agile framework, it brings value by uh, trying to focus on what really brings uh, value into the product. That we are working on the most important things um, each cycle. So a little bit about the origins for those three frameworks I mentioned. So Data was developed by Google Research based on a 6 year of study and over 30,000 plus surveys. And it was published in the book called Accelerate. Space was created in 2021, 3 years after Data, and by Microsoft, GitHub, and the University of Victoria. And it focuses on a holistic, human-centered model. So it was called the space of developer productivity. We'll talk about those frameworks a little bit more. And DevX emerged from a research by GitHub and UCSD, and it focuses on developer experience, better flow, cognitive load, cognitive. I'm sorry, cognitive load, and better feedback. So moving on, space focus in satisfaction and well-being as one of its dimensions. It's is the team motivated? Is the team free of burnout? Then we go for performance. Does the work impact the business results? We have activity. How much work is being done? We have communication and collaboration. Does the team work well together? And we have efficiency and flow. Can developers work without interruptions? So when you start creating surveys to start measuring space dimensions, one thing that is important is to try to come up with questions that um, will involve more than one single dimension at once. So if you're able to have a survey that uh, takes into consideration like satisfaction plus activity, or performance plus communication and collaboration, and efficiency and flow, uh, you get better results. So Data, it focuses on four metrics mainly. Deployment frequency, so how often are changes released to production? Lead time for changes, how long does it take from code to development, from idea to production? Change fail rate, how many deployments fail and require like rollbacks, or even how many issues are found in each of those deployments? And the meantime to restore services is how long does it take to resolve an issue in production. So this pairs well together with downtime. So if production goes down for any reason, how long does it take until it gets fixed? So, and DevX focus on cognitive load. It's the is the code and documentation easy to understand? How is your ramp up time? Is the documentation updated? Um, and so on. So focus also on flow state. Can developers work without interruptions, as I mentioned before? And feedback loops. Do they receive fast feedback on their code, on what they're doing? So I've seen many teams struggle with this particular part, where they get stuck in code reviews, and don't get approvals, can't move on, and so on. So these are the kinds of things that we can get from those frameworks. So this gives us like a 360-degree uh, view of how engineering health is. And all of those, they kind of complement each other. So you can, of course, apply Dora, DevX, and Space isolated, but with that, you won't be getting the most of it. They are powerful when worked together, when working together. Just for Dora, we have an official benchmark that was released, and we have here the four metrics: deployment frequency, lead time for changes, time to restore service, and change fail rate. And we have layers for each, from elite to lowest. So on demand means like multiple deployments a day for deployment frequency, for lead times for changes, less than a day, then the other one less than an hour, and change fail rate from 0 to 15%. And um, with this, you can start measuring Dora, and comparing how you are against how is the market standards. And from there, you can try to go and improve your flow in order to get better results for the DevOps excellency. So a little bit about the role of AI in engineering productivity. So AI is a game changer. It accelerates planning, coding, testing, deployment. It helps teams ship better software faster by reducing friction, improving the flow, and doing all the manual work uh, for them, making things easier. So AI gives huge productivity boosts to teams when applied correctly, when adopted at scale. And basically, you need to use AI in every part of your software development lifecycle. You cannot talk about engineering productivity today without mentioning the benefits that AI bring to the table. So you can use AI to plan, to have better stories, better backlog prioritization. You can have AI to uh, help you code, to assist you while doing coding and doing faster reviews as well. And for testing is where we get the most benefits. So I remember early in my career when I started as an automation engineer. Um, Sometimes I had, to spend days or weeks creating test plans, creating test cases, doing automation, and analyzing, documentation and so on. And these things took a lot of time. And today, the things we can do with AI in that sense are amazing. Something that I took like 2 weeks to do 10 years ago, today we can do in a matter of minutes with the help of AI. So it's really powerful there. We usually see uplifts from 75% when focus only on the test part. And of course, you can have AI to help, with continuous deployments and with less risk. So AI just brings a lot to the table. And I would like to move to this analogy, the Cheshire Cat. So, as the Cheshire Cat once said, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. So, we need to know where we are and where we want to be in order to choose the right path of improvements to get there. If you don't have like any idea of how you are right now, what do you want to achieve, then you're just lost. And that's not what we want. So without clear coordinates, it's impossible to know where you stand. And this is why we need to start sitting down and thinking about using those frameworks to help guide our processes and our strategic planning. Uh, to actually get to a place of excellency. So here we talk about a little bit of the pitfalls of measuring productivity. So things can go wrong while doing that. So they can be complex. We have several tools, lots of data sources, teams, different culture. From team to team and organization to organization, so it makes things complex. And when we add human beings to the mix, well, makes things even more complex. So um, we cannot those can also be misleading, because imagine what happens if you measure something wrong, or you focus on the wrong metric for that particular improvement. Uh, Probably you won't get the benefits that you're supposed to, and that will lead to waste of time, or to worse processes. So we need to take care and really analyze the relevancy of each metric we want to investigate. Can be bound to context. So what works for one team doesn't mean it's going to work for all the other teams. So as I said, teams are different. They think different. They progress differently one another. So uh, you cannot, just take as true what benefits one team that's going to work as expected to all the others. You need to um, tailor each improvement to each team. It is time consuming, analyzing all those metrics, applying frameworks, and so on. You got to be prepared. And we have also bias and redundant. So all of those are pitfalls that we need to avoid when first looking into metrics. So before we jump into like any tools or go deep on metrics, uh, we need to stop and do an honest reflection uh, of our process of where we are. So in blue, you have what to ask, right? These questions will help you identify to access where your teams might be struggling, or where your flow has weak spots. And the green part is actually what to look for, what signals we can get from those questions that will help us understand what are the bottlenecks, what are the pains, right? And of course, this is just like a small set of the amount of questions we can really ask. But if we start with those, then you can already get benefits and see how her team is positioned. So these signals, they aren't about, blame anyone. They are about opportunities to identify what's not working and then improve it, and identify what is working and, maximize the benefits there as well, right? So I'll just go through the questions very quickly. So are delivery timelines reliable across teams? Are critical features delayed or stuck in execution? Is delivery speed uneven across teams or squads? Are teams frequently blocked or overloaded? Are we confident in how delivery health is measured, if we are really measuring it? Um, do you have clear visibility into all the bottlenecks and all the slowdowns the team gets? So those questions will give you like insights about inconsistent velocity, missed commitments, unmet market needs, and product dissatisfaction, moral imbalance, process inconsistency, bottlenecks, excessive rework, poor flow, a lack of measurement frameworks like data space and FX, no clarity on what's improving, and blind spots into the delivery process. So it is important to step down a little bit, do this reflection, and then from there focus on the areas that are the most important for your business or your company or your team. So here is, I would like to showcase one case study we had when we worked on boosting the productivity of a particular team. So the background here is uh, an accelerated the migration of Android and iOS apps into an unified cross-platform mobile solution. So we had two or three apps, and the same team that was working on those apps was tasked to um, create a new solution from scratch where they would uh, bring quality there to another level. So when they first started, we also worked on doing all the improvements necessary and measuring productivity with the data space and DevX. So let's jump right in. So here we have a little bit of a snapshot of the whole transformation. And this transformation took 12 weeks, and the benefits were measured over 6 months. So the challenges, like long lead time, 4 to 6 weeks per feature. So high production bug rate, manual and error-prone CI/CD pipelines, knowledge in silos, and poor onboarding. So hero dependency as well was another thing. That means knowledge. If a key developer left, then the whole team would be in trouble because no one else had his knowledge. So that was a bit of a problem as well. Frequent rework due to backend dependencies, slow feedback, like long CI/CD cycles, and low team morale, poor retention of employees, lack of delivery confidence as well. Those were the main challenges. And let's move to the team composition. It was a team with over 20 plus engineers. We had roles going from engineering manager, tech lead, product manager, QAs, junior, mid-level, and senior developers mixed up. And their distribution was in squads, and they shared the also front end and back end responsibilities. Goals, right? uh, Focus on the key areas and the pain points that were discovered with the with data in space, DevX, and also using Gen AI to help better testing, and better code, improve code review as well. So once we did an assessment, got all those pain points, then we moved to implementation and then to all the achievements. I won't focus on this right now because we have a slide dedicated for those. Um, so moving on, here we have three-phase execution in these 12 weeks. So we did have, we started by having like a diagnosis phase. We needed to understand all the problems that the team faced previously and things that we should avoid on this new initiative. So we needed, to have like a snapshot of the current state. And we did use Space Dora and DevX for that. So for Dora, we started, measuring the data. Um, and for the other ones, we went on creating tailored surveys to get all the pain points directly from the team that was working on the product. After we identified the main blockages and improvement points, we went to execution phase where we focus on quick wins, right? So using AI to improve testing right from there, um, with shift left test automation, modular architecture, biweekly release trains, and feature flags, monitoring, and so on. So uh, we started really, you know, improving from bit to bit until the whole team got more confidence. And after by the end of the initiative, we had like a continuous improvement phase where we need to keep monitoring all the metrics. We did like several retrospectives, and we also planned the scale for AI automation and so on. So, and this continual improvements, it went, running as part of the team flow indefinitely. So during the deep dive assessment with Space, we found out those to be the high impactful pain points, being low satisfaction, uh, lots of workflow bottlenecks, and high connective load. So the developers had to navigate complex dependencies for each for you know each and for single updates to the code. With Dora, we collected the metrics. They indicated like low delivery speed, um, slow concept to production flow, frequent app store rejections, and lots of issues, and so on. And for DevX, we got like slow feedback, CI/CD is taking too long to test, frequent disruptions, review delays, teams load or idle due to pending PR approvals, and so on. Outdated documentation, inefficient setup. So it was like a lot of problems altogether, and we had more pains than we have explicit here in this slide, but those were the ones that uh, we found to be the most important to start uh, and uh, and fixing. And here is after 6 months how it looked before and how it looked after. So as you can see here, test automation went from 15% in the previous apps to 90% coverage in the new app. Documentation also got updated and had 85% completion. Build time much faster. Team satisfaction, that's a huge one. It went from 70% frustration to 85% satisfaction. That's a lot. And also they improved, this company improved their retention. They were losing people because all the problems we already mentioned, and after 6 months people were happy and didn't want to leave anymore. So those were a huge thing for this this client of ours. And final results, right? Uh, 75% more test automation coverage. App Store rating, it went from 3.5 to 4.8. So shows that end users were really satisfied with the new app. And with that, it was measured that it brought over 30% uplifting in mobile revenue due to the adoption, higher adoption of the app. 40% more increase in user engagement, and over 200% like improvement in release frequency. So we took like 4 to 6 weeks in the beginning, and then every 2 weeks we had a release ready, up to the PO to decide if it was you know if we should push it or not. And we could also push to production, but then have feature flags and enable whenever we wanted. So it was a huge deal. So some key takeaways to get from this to this presentation. Productivity is about outcomes, not effort. You know, you can try to do your best, you can put a lot of effort, but that's not gonna boost the productivity in general. That's gonna just get you tired, get the team struggling. So focus on the outcomes, focus on identifying how we can achieve better outcomes, and then focus on doing what's right to improve. Metrics are only useful when aligned with goals. So it's very common to see many companies that use Dora, for instance, to measure uh, excellence of their DevOps practices, but they don't actually know what to do with those metrics and how those metrics will help with the company goals. So you need to get the goals you want, and then check which metric will help you get you there. GenAI helps a lot, but only when integrated with purpose and when fully adopted. So it's very common to see, hey, I added some Copilot here to help my team, but no one is using. So uh, teams need to see the value that AI brings to the whole development flow process, rather than used in isolation or without a good purpose. Flow and feedback are your multipliers. So you have if you have if you focus on improving your flow and keeping a good feedback loop, you'll be able to keep improving and retain all the productivity you gain from those metrics. Because for sure we can, and that's something to keep in mind, we can keep uh, we can use these frameworks to have engineering boost, but then if we do not continue improving and continue checking, we can lose everything and return to old ways. And that's not what we want. So space is not like a metric set like Dora. It is like a thinking model. So you need to come up with ideas on how to measure. There is no cake recipe here. And I think that's it. I'll stay for Q&A. Thank you so much for keeping with me, and thank you. Okay, so how do you decide where AI bring um, real value to the software development lifecycle, SDLC, versus where it's just noise, right? So we start by identifying how high friction re- and repetitive manual tasks and error prone activities. So when you find that, then you can apply AI to focus on those problems, like test data generation, or doing code reviews, or doing manual testing for you, helping you automate um, manual testing routines. So the AI pilot needs to be aligned with the engineering goals, but also with the engineering pain points you see in your team. Uh, After you fix the most visible pain points, then we can move to scaling AI to benefit all other areas. And with that, team will see value in adopting AI for their day-to-day activities. So always baseline first. You need to know how you are, what are the pains, and what to do, and then validate the results instead of just deploying AI to everything. Okay, how long does it take for teams to see measurable results in these practices? So this is this would be in most cases around 8 to 12 weeks. We can see a huge boost in productivity and measurable improvements, being one key point to create a snapshot in the beginning, and keep checking this snapshot as you go, creating another other snapshots from time to time, checking progress, what went well, what went wrong, and then reassessing. So within 12 weeks, for sure, you can see measurable results by applying those practices. What is the biggest mistake companies make while trying to improve engineering productivity? Okay, so biggest mistakes. Biggest mistakes would be focus on metrics rather than focus on people. So metrics, we need to check how the people is, and then check the metrics and get a pattern from there. We need to understand that there is invisible work that people do, and uh, people's general feeling must be taken into consideration as well. If someone is not performing well at some point, doesn't mean uh, he is not a good professional. What it means that he might be struggling with something, and we need to, um, you know what it is, or at least understand uh, what the problem is. And so when you apply those metrics, and when you apply AI to the whole mix, you need to have like a plan to check all the metrics, and also a guided approach to AI. If you have all of that, then you focus on the right things. So biggest mistake is focus on what is not really important, and just following some data from some metric tool, some tool. Okay, other questions? Okay, so then thanks a lot. I really appreciate your time here, and see you next time.